where it's going to come. You've got to pull the engine and trans together, or you can separate them in the car, pull just the engine out. And again, if you have to pull the front cradle out of the car, does it come out the top? Does it all come out the bottom? Okay. Yeah. We had the 5-ton Chevrolet trucks. We had to disassemble all the sheet metal off the front. So you had to take the hood off, fenders, the grill, radiator, the radiator support, all that, because the engine had to come out the front this way. Yeah.
96 Chevy that I had, they swapped out the engine to a 99 Toyota V6, and they had to take off the whole front fender, and basically the whole front of the van had to come off.
Oh, it's a van?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And see, some of those vans, you have to take the whole front off. You hold it real close, pick it up, and pull it out the front. And the other ones, you actually had to take them out from the inside.
Yeah, I was just telling them, my only van like that, you gotta take the doghouse.
Take the doghouse and all that stuff off. Front seat, reach over inside through the passenger door, cut it loose, pick it up, and then guide it out that door. Nightmares. It's fun. It's a learning experience. Okay. And I know there's a question on test. Core plugs. Okay, remember the core plugs are in the side of the block. They are not there to protect you from freezing. They are there to clean the sand out from production, from the casting process. Remember, these blocks are, I can show you how that. Pull it up. The casting process is done with sand molds. You put the block together. It's done in the sand mold is, a lot of them are 12 to 15 pieces. The hot metal is poured in there, then it's left to dry. Then you break the sand up, get rid of it. So there's still sand inside the block. So that has to be cleaned out. You shouldn't send it out like that in production. So a dish type core plug is flat, but it's dish, like the satellite dish on the side of your house or on your roof or wherever it is. Okay? The dish goes inward. Okay? And you tap them in dry. Normally you do not, no sealant goes on them. Okay? They go in dry. It's a press fit for all intents and purposes. The cup type, same thing. The cup goes inward. Everybody's not using what I'm talking about. This is a cup type, and the cup would go inward. Okay? And again, no sealant. I know some manuals will say put this on there, put that on there. No, they go in dry. And even this one does. The expansion type, usually rubber. You put it in, tighten the nut in the center. The rubber expands up against the metal. That seals it. Okay. Y'all getting anything? You understand me? Am I going too fast? Got it? Cool. Okay, parts cleaning. Of course, different methods. Media blasting, and sometimes referred to as sand blasting. It's not always sand. Actually, we've gone away from sand. Okay. Biodegradables. The media itself, very angular. First of all, the parts have to be grease-free. If you put a greasy part in there, that's going to gum up the sand or the media. So we don't want that. So it has to go into some type of parts washer first to get rid of the grease. Okay. And then it has to be dry. dry it, then put it in the media blaster. And most media, the more aggressive, can remove paint and some of the surface. So you got to be aware of what you're putting in there and what media you're using. Grit type, it's angular. The sharper the angles, the more aggressive the cleaning is. The thing too is with small parts and sheet metal parts that the process generates heat. So your fine parts can be warped if you use the wrong media, because it will generate a lot of heat. So it can bend the part and distort it. Most aluminum pieces we do shot. We either do a glass shot or glass beading, which will clean the surface. It will clean it and then put a protective coating on the surface. And in some instances, shot peening is a surface hardening process. It actually shoots little metal balls at the surface, and it can harden the surface over to protect it from, and it helps protect the surface there. Makes it a little bit harder. Of course, the other cleaning is a thermal process, high temperature. You put it in there, it actually bakes it, takes it up to about 1,200 degrees, and anything on there will disintegrate, it falls off, bakes it off.
You can't do that to aluminum. You can't do that to aluminum.
No, yeah, we don't thermal aluminum. Mostly cast, a lot of the cast iron pieces. Most cases, aluminum will go in with like what we have is a spray wash, a hot spray wash. Hot spray wash and steam. If you're using the regular parts washers, like the little safety clean ones, the little wash bins, once you come out of there, you put it in the regular washer to rinse all that chemical off. I know those are water-based, but it's the same thing. Prolonged use and prolonged exposure and can possibly have some adverse effects. And I can't stress it enough. If you use it, wash your hands. Even if you're wearing gloves. Once you finish, throw the gloves away, go wash your hands. Thank you. Get it off, get it off, get it off. Something missing. Okay, with everything we do, when you do a disassembly, you're doing an inspection. We are looking for abnormality there. We're looking for scuffing, scars, scratches, cracks. Okay? And in some cases, the cracks are not going to be visible to the eye, so they may have to go in to have an inspection for a crack. Two types of crack inspection is magnaflux. Okay, that's actually where you magnetize the part and you use iron filings. The iron filings will line up next to the crack or opposite each other at the crack. Okay. The other one is a dye penetrant.
How you build that shit up there?
Where it's sprayed with a chemical and then it's cleaned off with a developer. If there is a crack, the crack will show up as red. That lets you know that there is a crack there in red. Some can be repaired. In most cases, no. A lot of times, cylinder head cracks becomes an expense thing. Depends on where it is. And remember, one of the most vulnerable places on the engine is between the valves. That will be the place you're going to find most of the cracks. You look between the two valves, the intake valve and exhaust valve, you may find a crack there. Sometimes you can take your little screwdriver and again, run it right across the surface. And if there's a crack, it will actually hit that crack and stop. So a lot of times we'll take an inspection, take your shop light and your little screwdriver and kind of scrape it off and look really, really close. You may be able to see it. It may show up as a surface crack. Where the BMW guys at? Big problem with the BMW guys. Silver heads. Lot of. Yeah, they have to. Phone point. I don't know why this is written this way. Gotta check with it. Okay. That's not important. Flywheel. The ring gear on the flywheel. That's what we start the car with. The starter engages those teeth on there to turn the flywheel to start the engine. Remember, we need a minimum of 200 RPMs for the engine to start up. And also,
Looking for a Volkswagen guy? Where you at? Crossing fire.
right on the front says VW. Sort of like the Fords, they circle it.
They circle the front.
Circle the front.
Hey now, come on now.
What? That's what the purpose of that blue oval is. So where's the problem? Huh? Was it backwards? Huh? You don't know what Ford is backwards? Oh, turn it around. What does it say? Huh? Can't read. Doug, what's Ford backwards?
Huh?
What's Ford backwards?
Forward back.
Driver returns on foot.
I know what. I heard from last week that it's fucked up.
Or reconditioned.
Rebuilt Dodge.
Or rebuilt Dodge, yeah. See, you keep pouring water on a Dodge, it turns into a Ford.
We better
Can't be, that's your roots.
We can make a decent transmission.
That's true. That's true. One of the best. One of the best. AOD is good. Ring gears for the starter to engage the starter, and also the flywheel or the flex plate. I should put there. Yeah, because it's a flex plate. If it's a standard shift, it's a flywheel. If it's a automatic, it's a flex plate. The flex plate stores the energy from the crankshaft to turn and spin the torque converter in the transmission for an automatic car. Okay, so it stores energy from the engine. Harmonic balancer, vibration dampener, crankshaft pulley. Again, to help minimize firing vibrations in the engine. Right? Remember, it's three pieces in most cases. There's a center hub, elastomeric ring, and the outer ring. And it is part of a balanced assembly. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, I forgot about that. Crankshaft pull. Okay, engine inspection. When we go through, and that's part of what we did last week, we're still there. We're doing a lot of inspections. We are measuring measuring the amount of wear in the engine. Is it worn? Can it be rebuilt, or do we need to replace the block, the crank, the cams, the cylinder head itself?
Excuse me, did Mr. Glock talk to you?
Yes, he did.
Will I turn this into you?
Yeah, where's the car?
It's running in the visitor parking.
All right, hang on one second.
Let's take a part in this call.
Uh,
So we're gonna take a part in my